Hi, welcome all. We are going to discuss about the very basic information, basic details for the ETL. So why do we need a data warehouse? As we all know that, so for creating data warehouse, only we are using ETL tools. So the basic information, right, is of the need of data warehouse and what are the terminologies using in data warehouse we are going to discuss in this video. Let us get into the topics what all we are going to cover. We are going to cover as part of this what is data analysis and what is a data warehouse, what are the key terminologies using in data warehouse, what are the main usage of the data warehouse, and different definitions for the data warehouse. So we everybody have given different definitions and we are going to understand about the entire keyword data warehouse. Let's get into the discussion. So the very first topic, right, is we are going to discuss about the data analysis. So what is the data analysis? What we are going to do with the data? So with these two words, right, so you can correlate, right? So we are going to do something analysis, some analyst work with the data. That's true actually. So the same analysis based on the data with some output from the analysis, right? That is called data analysis process. Let's get into the detail ones. So assume that a retail store is running in multiple locations. So take that Chennai is one of the location retail store is running. The management want to see the report of past 4 quarters of sales value. So here you can see the sales values are differs based on each quarters. So what they will do with this data? So here you can see they will do the management level assessment or analysis. So how they will do means, so with this data in third quarter the sales around 9.5 value. At the same time, so when you go to fourth quarter, it is half of the sales of third quarter. What is the reason? What is the reason behind this down term in terms of root cause analysis? And what they will do with this root cause analysis and with this data, they will come up with their own action or plan how we can improve in the next quarter or next 2 quarter, next year. That is called data analysis. So now we have discussed for Chennai location alone. So what happens when we compare the data between multiple locations? So for example, the same retail is running in Delhi. So how we have to compare between these two locations data? So the management want to see the data likewise. So they want to see in a single report, so what is the Chennai's performance and what is the Delhi performance. This is an example what we have taken. Here you can see each quarter wise, right, you can compare both Chennai and Delhi. So what they will do, so for that generating combined locations report, right, what is the main necessary, what is the basic need? Means we need to have the both locations data in a single repository or single place. That is the major one. Here you can see you have to have the both Chennai and Delhi data in a single database. So that will be done by data movement from Chennai and data movement from Delhi to a single repository. Once it is done, from this integrated data, this is called integrated data since we have taken from multiple sources. So this integrated data can be fed into a data analysis report where management can do the analysis between different locations. This is called data analysis. As at the end, right? So what is the main objective of data analysis is decision making, finding the root causes. If something goes wrong, if something revenue slow down, the management needs to find the data to do more root cause analysis with what are the causes for this slowdown. Once they identify the data based on those root causes, they will try to create action plan or planning to improvise in next quarter or upcoming quarters. That is the main objective of the data analysis. Okay, so the next topic, right? So before getting into data warehouse, what is the use of transactional database? So what is the transactional database? First of all, let us get into it. So the same example we are going to take. Retail store is there. Within the retail store, here you can see there are team called the stock team is there, where they will do the update related to stock whenever the product comes into the retail store. They will do the data modification or data update from the front end. It will be stored in the database. From this database, where sales team can view the data and they will do the billing operations. So here you can see the data, whatever stock team updating, right? So that will be pulled or that will be used by sales team. So this particular database, right? So here it is called transactional database, where the transaction happens, where stock team is doing the updating, inserting and updating transaction on the same database, and the sales team also making modifications. So when a product invoice, during the invoice, right? So the product will be detected in the database level. So this database is called transactional database. And let's get into a data warehouse. So it's a simple terminology, English, plain English, right? So how we are going to define the warehouse. So take an example of running an AC unit and fridge unit under a single organization with from different locations. It is running, and they are having a single place where they can keep both fridge and air conditioner in a single place, and from that place they will be using it as delivery purpose. So what is the process they are following? So once the fridge or AC air conditioner is manufacturing is done, they will move the products from manufacturing unit to a single place. So from that single place, once the sales team finds the order, they will take it for the delivery. So this particular storage repository or storage area, right? So this is called warehouse, where warehouse can keep different materials, raw materials or manufacturing goods can be stored. So the use of keeping the warehouse, right? So it gives a single place where you can take multiple products at a time for the delivery purpose. At the same time, we can make sure that the sales team can do the invoice, and the sales team go and say the customer that the product is ready. So what is a data warehouse? So we have seen the warehouse concept, and so what is a data warehouse? So it's a similar fashion in plain English, right? When you explain with AC and fridge, instead of that just consider as a data. So here you can see data from both Chennai location and Delhi location databases. We are moving the data into a single database. So from the single database, right, so we can use it for reporting or analysis purpose. This data movement, right, the data movement will be done by ETL tools. There are a lot of ETL tools available in the market. In upcoming sessions, videos, we will be seeing. So finally, what is a data warehouse? It's a storage where it can keep high volume of data, and it is integrated from multiple sources for the purpose of doing reporting and analysis. The next part would be, what are the key terminologies involved in data warehouse? So data warehouse is integrated and historical data. Data warehouse contains historical data as well as integrated data. What is the historical data? We can discuss about it. So normally a transactional database can have only 6 months data or 90 days of data or 45 days data. It's based on the requirement, but not more than that, or not more than a year. But in terms of data warehouse, it will keep the historical data. So you can say 2013 to 2016 of data will be available in data warehouse, but at the same time when you go to transactional database, you can see only the current year of data. That is called historical storage of repository, is called data warehouse. What is the use of this storing the historical data? Again, it is for the reporting and analysis purpose. How we are performing, we have been performing in the past, how we are performing now, how we have to perform in the future. So that is that forecast analysis and past performance and current performance, that comparison will be done based on the historical data. And what is mean by integrated? Integrated means, so we are integrating from different sources. So Chennai is having a separate database, Delhi is having separate database. When we get the data from both Chennai and Delhi into a single place, that is integration. And heterogeneous data is something that, so when we integrate data from different source formats. So for example, so Chennai is connected using or connected with Oracle database, but Delhi is using SQL Server. In that case, so when we integrate the data, that is called heterogeneous data. Finally, so a typical data warehouse contains historical data, integrated data, heterogeneous data, and aggregated data. So mainly the ultimate usage of this data warehouse will be only for the reporting analysis. So let's see what is the definitions given for the data warehouse. Again, it is related with the keywords whatever we have seen: historical, integrated, and heterogeneous only. So here we can go one by one. So first one is subject oriented. So what is mean by subject? Subject oriented means something. So it's related to the normal objects. So for example, in the transactional database it is called product and category, customer, sales, right? So in data warehouse also we'll be having the standard subject value. So based on the object, real-time subject, the movement, data movement, and table creation, everything would happen. Again, we have seen about the integration. So like same thing. So when we integrate from multiple sources, it's called integrated. And time variant. So what it is? So when we see the transactional database, it will contain only the 50 to 90 days of data. At the maximum it will contain 1 year of data. But in case of data warehouse, it will have more than 10 years or till 10 years. It's based on the requirement and based on the volume of data. And non-volatile. So non-volatile is something that transactional database will allow to perform insert, update, delete, and read. In case of data warehouse database, it is the major use is only for reporting. The reporting data should not be modified. All are historical data. So at that case, right, so you can only view, it means read, not more than that. So at the summary, so data warehouse is subject oriented, integrated, non-volatile, and time variant. And what are the main use of data warehouse? From the beginning, we were talking about the keyword data analysis. We have discussed with an example for data analysis. Same thing we are going to discuss again to recollect what we discussed. So in terms of data analysis, so it will be done based on the different parameters. In this example, you can see they are comparing the data between Q3 and Q4 of sales values. In Q4, the sales revenue has gone down, and they are analyzing so what are the causes for this slowdown, and for taking the decision making. It's part of the data analysis process. Decision making will be done to manage the gap based on the outcome. So how they will do, and with the planning. So planning comes here, so where after finding the root cause, they will try to rectify, they will come up with the new plan to overcome the causes which can improve the sales revenue in next quarter. So the main use of data warehouse is data analysis purpose and decision makings and planning and forecasting. That's all about this video.